Hey, don't you have to be outside in the snow to do the proper snow angel? Emmy always happy and always waving at the camera. This one will get you into the dancing mood. And talk about dialing it up from long distance. Hoop, there it is. Sportsnight is next.
Holy cow.
It was long distance. A long distance shot.
I didn't see that one in the highlights.
From Jelly Dog.
Unfortunately, that one didn't really factor into that game. We
No.
get to that a little bit later. A tough opponent in the Park Center Pirates for the boys to start this week. A special Tuesday edition as the basketball teams have shifted their schedule and started playing some Monday night contests just to throw a wrinkle into the things late in the season.
We can handle it.
But it means we have a little bit extra stuff to talk about
Yeah,
tonight.
which is always good. We get a little extra video and everybody gets a chance to see some additional stuff.
Well, we start talking about the boys hockey team. Couple of games last week. Started on Thursday at Champlin against the Rebels. The Cardinals lose that one 8-3. 2 goals for Nick Lockinen. Michael Crosby had a goal and an assist. Matt Ammon had an assist. 52 saves for Connor Wise. Yes, he gave up 8 goals, but 52 saves. Cardinals heavily outshot in that one. They gave up 60 shots on goal, and the young sophomore goalkeeper did a nice job.
Yeah, obviously, if you're stopping 52 of 60, I mean, you don't want to let 8 goals in, but that's
about
a lot
86%.
That's a lot of work.
It's about 86%. You'd love to be over 90, but 86% is doable.
Yeah.
But when you give up 60 shots, that's a ton. Well, Cardinals were back home on Saturday afternoon, hosting a little more manageable opponent. The Osseo Orioles have won just 5 games this season, and their 5-3 win in the first meeting between the two teams was one the Cardinals felt they kind of let it get away from them. This was an opportunity to get some revenge with a packed house for senior night. Cardinals open the scoring, and that's basketball. Doesn't look anything like hockey. But if it were, that would be the way they started, with a goal. All right, let's start with hockey. Michael Crosby, long pass, springs Duncan McKenna around the defense. He goes short side off the post and in. First goal, courtesy a couple of their 8 seniors. Osseo had advantage most of the first period, outstanding, outshooting the Cardinals 11-4, but they couldn't get past sophomore keeper Connor Wise. Opening minute of the second, Cardinals push the puck in deep. Matt Ammon takes it to the front of the net. Kirby Pieri is going to poke it in at the back door. Pieri's 7th of the season gives Coon Rapids a 2-0 lead. Same score deep into the third period. McKenna carrying it to the corner, tries to pass, not able to get it out, but he's able to tip it off the goaltender and in. Second of the game, gives the Cardinals a little more cushion, keeps the momentum on their side. They light the lamp again less than a minute later. The shot, they're going to work it back to the point here. And the shot is blocked, but then played out front by Ryan Corey, tipped home by Michael Crosby, his team leading 14th of the year. Cardinals breathing easier, but not out of it. Osseo bringing the pressure on the power play. Weiss makes a save. Rebound played behind him. Off the boards, Cade Weeman recovers, snaps the wrister, but it's gloved by Connor Wise, and the sophomore makes 37 saves. That included a breakaway in the second period where he came up with a phenomenal save. He was masterful at times. Osseo, a lot of shots right at him. Made a lot of Osseo's shots were kind of easy for him to save, but he did a very nice job. He gets the first shutout of the year for the Cardinals, and that's kind of interesting. You know, they, of course, the senior keeper, Argero, still sidelined with that concussion. Danny Protus, the junior, had been getting most of the work, but Wise has had 3 of the last 4 starts, and it's kind of spin the wheel to see who's going to play between the pipes every night.
Well, obviously you need that kind of production. You need the opportunity. A nice win for a team that's been struggling to find wins this season. So
well, and I thought
always nice to get that win, to get the shutout.
They gave him some good support, but especially early on. Osseo had a lot of pressure early on, and he made some saves that really kept him in the game. Once they got that lead, they got a little bit of momentum. They really controlled more of the action in the second and third periods, kept a little of the pressure off him. And as I mentioned, Osseo shot a lot into him, and that's because the Cardinals were keeping him wide, not giving him those grade A chances from the slot too often. But a great game for Connor, and congratulations to him. I was glad I was there to see it and
great
get
camera
video.
work, by the way. Great camera work.
To get the video for to get the highlights on Sportsnight. Cardinals at St. Francis tonight, Tuesday night. They're at Maple Grove on Thursday. Girls hockey team closed out the regular season schedule last week with a couple of games against top 10 opponents. On Tuesday, they traveled to take on the Blaine Bengals. They lose that one 4-1. Delaney Johnson had the lone goal, assisted by Mackenzie Baker and Alyssa Brazier. Bailey Shuck made 44 saves, but they drop it 4-1 the final.
Well, the road didn't get any easier for the Bluebirds. After losing to 7th-ranked Blaine on Tuesday, they traveled to Maple Grove on Thursday to face the 4th-ranked Crimson. Maple Grove were undefeated in their last 15 games with an 11-0-4 record going all the way back to mid-December. The Crimson had won 4 straight coming into the season finale, outscoring their opponents 21-1 in those games. It would definitely be a huge test for the Champlin Park Coon Rapids squad. Didn't take long for the Crimson to strike off an offensive zone faceoff. Maya Martinez walks in the middle, snaps it past Shuck, putting the Maple Grove on the board just 3 minutes into the game. Champlin Park Coon Rapids didn't get much time in the offensive end, being outshot 15-4 in the first period and 41-18 for the game. They get this one directed toward the net, but an easy save for Crimson keeper Lucy Morgan. Late in the first, Maple Grove on the power play. Manon McMahon able to dig it free in the corner, skates at the slot. She risks to the back of the net. It's a 2-goal lead for the home team. Crimson not able to add to until the final minute of the second. Lauren Stensley gets the loose puck, comes out front, fires it down to beat Shuck over the shoulder, 3-0 Maple Grove. Stensley gets another chance early in the third. She gets it on the breakaway, slips it past Shuck for her second of the game, and Crimson would add one more, and they're going to cruise to a 5-0 win. Another tough loss to a very good squad.
A very good squad. That Maple Grove team can really bring it. They looked like they were on the power play most of the game. We have to work on your hockey vernacular. One more time, bar down. Say it with me, bar down.
Bar down.
That means you fire it off the crossbar and it comes straight down. Bar
Okay.
down.
Went off the bar, went into the net.
Bar down.
Bar down.
Not down. It's bar down.
Bar down.
All right.
Okay.
Next time you're going to nail it. I know you will. Cardinals or the Bluebirds. Bluebirds, rather, unfortunately, would have liked to gotten a little momentum going into the playoffs, but really facing a couple of top 10 teams going in is a benefit. It gives them an idea of what they're up against. Unfortunately, both of those top 10 teams are in their section, as is number 3 ranked Centennial. Centennial, the top seed, will get the bye. Coon Rapids Champlin Park, a number 5 seed, will face Rogers on Saturday afternoon at 2:30 over at the Roseville Arena. And the winner will move on to face Centennial. Champlin Park, Maple Grove, will get Spring Lake Park in the first round. And Blaine will play Anoka. So a tough road. One of the, I would say, most difficult sections in the state for girls hockey.
Yeah, I mean,
with
you
those
look
3
at,
teams.
You look at those 3 teams, and it's going to be an interesting finale when it comes down to when it's all said and done.
Well, wrestling team had a couple of events late last week. On Thursday, they took on Elk River, and they beat the Elks 38-19. They get pins from Gabe DeGris in the first period, Dalen Jones in the second period, and then Layton. You can't wait much later than that, Mr. Layton. In the final second of the third period, he puts his man to the mat in the heavyweight match. Kovalchuk and Joe Robin had major decisions to factor into that victory. On Saturday, the Cardinals at Blaine for the Blaine Duels. They opened with a 55-15 win over Malacca. Then they faced Elk River again, a little bit closer this time, but the Cardinals still come out on top, winning 35-30. Then in the championship, unfortunately, they come up short against Egan, losing 34-22, but finishes runners-up. 5 guys finishing undefeated in the Blaine Duels. Kovalchuk at 106, Robin at 132, Moore at 285, Moses Medimba at 138. He had 2 pins and a major decision, as did Kovalchuk. That's pretty impressive way to make it through your 3 matches. Logan Rothstein was also 3-0 with a pin in that event. And this week, the big one, the regular season finale against Anoka. It's alumni night at the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse on Friday night. And Howie?
We'll be there.
And the Tornadoes have been sitting in that number 2 spot all year long.
Good. And it's going to be a very stiff test for the Cardinal wrestling squad, and obviously we'll be there to cheer them on. And we looked at the guillotine today. Anoka's got a number of wrestlers in a number of weight classes in the top 10, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, they're a very tough squad this year. The Cardinals will have their hands full. The section tournament will be next Friday at Cambridge. Gymnastics team had a couple of duels. Remember, they were snowed out, so that gave them the week off the week before. So they had back-to-back matches. Unfortunately, the rest didn't necessarily help them. Going up against Irondale, this is a team they really felt they could beat. They had one of their worst matches of the season. Had a couple of girls fall off the beam, had a couple of girls fall during their floor routine. Still put up a decent score at 125.875. Unfortunately, it's one that they got away from them a little bit. There you see their top finishers. They did finish 1-2 on the bars with Aaliyah Vu and Kamika Hurdle. Aaliyah Vu was second place on beam. Dieters and Rushmeyer were second and third on the floor. Rachel Dieters, their best all around, finishing third with a 31.350. However, how do you bounce back? You score a 132.35. It's the best score I think we maybe have ever seen from a Coon Rapids squad, but certainly the best we've seen in the last 10 years. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough to get past Centennial's 132.9.
That's a tough
but
loss.
Still an outstanding effort from all of the girls, and they were actually without one of their top girls in this match. So they did this by bringing up some more of their depth, and I get updates from Hannah Gross's mother, Tara, each week. She's the one who gets me the scores, make sure that we can keep you updated on their progress. And she was absolutely gushing about the way that they performed and talked about how she and Coach Habel, how impressed they were with how they competed against Centennial, the scores that they put up, and the depth that they have. They're going to lose a couple of girls. Hannah Gross and Kamika Hurdle are, I believe, the only two seniors on the squad, so they'll be without them next year. But they have a number of girls in those lower classes who have contributed mightily to the varsity squad this year. And they've got a couple of girls just behind those top girls that are ready to step in and take those places. So, we could see a team next year that's routinely scoring into the 130s, into the mid-130s, hopefully. Well, knock on wood.
Yeah, would they have liked to have gotten the win? Certainly. But to score over 132, that's a big win in itself.
Fantastic.
Obviously, those things will continue to come.
Would have been great to see that against Irondale and get the victory at the same time.
Yes, it would have.
But still, a 132, we talked about it. 130 was their goal, and they hit it a couple of weeks ago, and it was very exciting. They had gotten so close but hadn't quite made it there. They hit it a couple of weeks ago, and we were like, let's see how much further they can go. In basketball, 2.7 points isn't a lot. In gymnastics,
it is.
That's a huge jump. So congratulations to them, and hopefully they can keep that going. They've got a little bit of time off. Section championships are a week from Friday, and then the state championships are the 23rd through the 24th, and hopefully a couple of girls are able to perform well enough at the section meet to make it to that. Swimming and diving team hosting Irondale for the Northwest Suburban Conference Tournament. The 9th place in the conference on the line, and the Cardinals grabbed it, a 94-89 win. First place finishes for Tyler Schultz in the 200 free and the 500 free. Jack Zimmer was the first place diver with a 200.55. Matt Struss grabbed a first place finish in the 100 back. Andrew Trong was first place in the 100 breast and second place in the 100 fly. Another gushing review from a coach, Doug Donaldson's email.
I was just going to say that.
He was pretty excited about that, not only because they finished in 9th place, which is the best they've been since he's been here, but he's only been here 3 years. And he didn't have exact numbers, but said that could be their best finish in the last decade.
Well, he's been excited for this team all season long, and granted the competition is stiff, quite obviously, but the fact that they were able to get that win and reading that email that he sent us, you feel the enthusiasm for this squad, and it's going to continue to grow for this program.
Yeah, they're still very young, but couple of meets left. Section 7 AA championships are a couple of weeks away still, the 22nd through the 24th. That'll be at Northdale Middle School Pool. And should anyone advance to the state championships, those will be held March 1st through the 3rd. Nordic ski teams competed in the Northwest Suburban Conference Championships last week. Boys finished 5th in that event. Mitch Zandarowski, the top finisher, in 19th place in that pursuit. There you see the freestyle and classic places on the right in parentheses. Ricky Petrov finished in 27th overall. Sophomore Jared Haida was in 30th. Paul Breitbach in 42nd. And Noah Christensen finished in 58th. For the girls, a 6th place finish for Abby Ellenbecker. Finished 10th in the freestyle, 5th in the classic, a 6th place finish overall. A great way for her to head into the section tournament. Olivia, the next top finisher, in 22nd overall. Lila Gilliard finished 35th. Izzy Haberman in 46th. And Sarah Eichstad finished in 75th place. 5A championships are taking place tomorrow at the Theodore Wirth Park in Minneapolis. State championships are a week from Thursday. Alpine ski team actually up in Biwabik for their section championships today on Tuesday. Those results not posted in time for us to get it here for you on Sportsnight, but we will have it for you next week. State championships are a week from Wednesday. Boys basketball team started last week's play with a trip to Blaine to face crosstown rivals Blaine, hoping for a season sweep. The Cardinals beat the Bengals at their place in late December, but Blaine has been hot since then. They won 7 of their next 9 games. They came into last Tuesday's matchup hungry for some revenge. Cardinals get the start they wanted. Marshall Holland, an open look from the top of the arc, hits the 3 to start the scoring. But this is a game that goes back and forth. Coon Rapids down 1 early. Sean Smith finds Marcel Winston in the corner. He hits a 3, puts the Cardinals back in front. Middle of the first half, Cardinals up by 3, scramble on the floor. Byron Bynum Jr. able to dig it free. He runs the floor and will drop it in at the other end. Defense a big key for Blaine to steal the momentum and the lead. Ray Mitchell jumps the pass. He's off to the races. He'll jam it home with the left hand. Blaine goes to the locker room up by 4. Blaine built their lead to 8, then withstood a Cardinals comeback. Great alley-oop pass. Prince Williams to Mitchell at the back door. Mitchell led all scorers with 23. Bengals closed the game out strong. Another steal and breakaway by Bynum. Blaine outscores the Cardinals 10-1 down the last couple of minutes of the game. And they get their revenge with a 58-41 win. And Howie, we were there. It was a game where, the Cardinals were down. I think the lead got back up to 8 early in the second half. Cardinals got it back within 2. But then Blaine really just took over. And it was their defense that was the difference.
And it's a tough loss anytime that Coach Agort goes and loses to his former program, Blaine. And you got to give credit to the Bengals. They played really well, and as you talked about in that, they're playing well, especially as of late. Ray Mitchell, he's a special player. He's fun to watch.
And his 23 was actually kind of quiet.
Yep.
But yeah, their
soft
defense.
23.
Their defense was pretty impressive, and that's what kept the Cardinals from continuing to score, but also led to a lot of their points and helped them build that big lead. Cardinals did bounce back with a win over Anoka on Friday, beating the Tornadoes 56-53 in front of the home court. Marcel Winston, the only one in double digits, but he had 19 points, 6 boards. Sean Smith had 9 with 3 steals. Elijah McGrath, 8 points and a block. Braden Farley and Shai Sayers each added 7 points and a handful of rebounds.
Well, the Cardinals started this week with one of their biggest challenges of the season so far, the 6th-rated Park Center Pirates. The Pirates were coming off a loss to Champlin Park that had ended an 8-game winning streak, so they'd be a little more than motivated to get back on the winning track. The Cardinals knew they would have their hands full and would need everyone on top of their game to keep it close. So much size, speed, and athleticism in the lineup for Park Center. Great movement to find Jarius Cook all alone in the corner. He hits the 3, gets the Pirates off to a strong start. Cardinals just trying to keep pace as best as they can. Great move by Marshall Holland on this play, getting to the baseline, hitting the reverse layup, part of a team-high 14 points for Holland. 4 Cardinals scored double digits against the Pirates. Holland setting up Shai Sayers high on the right side. He hits the 3 from there. Sayers finished with a dozen. But Park Center has so much firepower. Tavius Fierce in the post finishes with a 2-handed jam. Nice play there. Pirates had 3 guys in double figures, but 13 different players factored into scoring. Off a Coon Rapids miss, they push it down the floor quickly, then back to Cook for another 3-pointer. They get the double-digit lead early. Watch up here, the passing again. Move it to the open guy underneath. Dane Denasia with the flush. Pirates up 51-33 at the half, on their way to a 168 win. And again, you know, going into that game, it's a tough one. They're a good team, Park Center. They're not 6 rated for nothing. That was a tough game for the Cardinals.
Well, and the road doesn't get any easier.
No.
Now they have to face Champlin Park, the team that just beat that Park Center squad. They're at Champlin Park on Thursday. They host Centennial next Monday. Well, the Cardinals girls basketball team hit the road for Blaine last Tuesday with revenge on their minds. Bengals beat the Cardinals by 2 in late December when Coon Rapids was without a couple of their top players. It did not sit well with the team, and they've been waiting for their chance to even the score, and this was it. Cardinals took control of the game right away and just smothered the Bengals. Full court pressure from the Ackerman twins forces the turnover. Courtney back to Caitlin for the finish, plus the foul. Start of a nice night for her. Bengals setting up on offense here, and Caitlin just says, that's my ball. She gets the steal, heads to the other end. Caitlin Ackerman finished with 13 points in the game, one of 3 players in double digits. Cardinals jump to a huge lead right away. Brooklyn Dixon fires it down court to Ellie Carver. She turns and scores 29-10 Coon Rapids. Still in the first half, Lexi West reaching in to get the steal. She'll go coast to coast on the breakaway. Coon Rapids leads by 20 at the break. They're on cruise control throughout the second half. Blaine brings full court pressure. Cardinals just pass right past them. Laney Hanneman alone underneath finishes easily. Coon Rapids coasts to a 61-42 win.
That was a nice win for them, obviously, and they've been playing really well as of late. The girls certainly have been hitting at the right time of the season, playing well.
Absolutely, and unfortunately did not play so well on Friday night. Just 10 points in the second half against Anoka. This is one you know, every once in a while you have one of those games you just throw it away and say, we're just not even going to talk about that. And that's all we're going to talk about it. They lost 49-27.
That's it. Well, the girls were back home on Monday, hoping to bounce back from that disappointing performance, but facing another difficult challenge. The Park Center Pirates have a nearly identical record to Anoka, but they're getting a little more respect with the basketball hub, still ranking them among the top 10. Still, the Cardinals were not intimidated. They knew they could play their game and they'd give the Pirates all they could handle. Pirates get off to a fast start thanks to their senior captain, Megan Dubois, scored first 5 points of the game. But Cardinals fly right back. On their next possession, cross-court pass to Brooklyn Dixon. She has the answer to start the scoring for the home squad. Dixon was doing it all early for the Cardinals. How about this pass to get to Laney Hanneman behind the defense? The game is tied at 5 early on. Pirates can run and pass too. Dubois feeds Lauren Frost at the back door. Pirates able to build a lead of 11 points midway through the first half. But Coon Rapids able to cut into it before the break. Courtney Ackerman with the steal. She'll take it the length of the court, splitting defenders for the basket. Still, the Pirates are up by 6 going into the locker room. Great start for the Cardinals in the second. Dixon sets up Laney Hanneman for the short jump shot, and she drains it. Hanneman had the Cardinals' first 8 points of the second half as Coon Rapids reeled off a 12-2 run to take their first lead of the game. Hanneman was one of 4 players in double digits. Dixon dropping dimes again, this time getting to Ellie Carver down low. Her first shot won't go, but the second chance is good. She led the Cardinals with 17. Now Park Center not going away easily. Final 30 seconds, they find Dubois up top. She hits the long 3-pointer that gets the Pirates back within 3. It's going to go down to the final seconds. One last chance for Park Center. Dubois bobbles the pass, throws up an off-balance shot that's nowhere near being into the basket. Cardinals hold on for a 58-55 win, and that was a fun game to be at.
It was.
It was a really nice win for this program. They knew coming in that it was an important game for them, especially against the top-ranked opponent. They were able to get it down after being down at the break.
Yeah, and really they controlled that second half.
They did.
They just everyone played a part, and they did it as a team. But you know, Coach Peterson at the end said that's some of the best basketball we've played this year. Maybe since she's come to the program. They were hitting their free throws down the stretch. That was gigantic. The difference in the game when you look at it is a 3-point victory. They hit a number of pressure free throws at the end that they could have easily, they missed those, and Park Center might have tied it up, forced it overtime, or even come away with a win.
Yeah, and I like the way their defense played in the second half as well, really giving Park Center some trouble and not letting them get into the flow of their game as well.
Yeah, so you had 17 from Carver, 14 from Hanneman, 11 from Courtney Ackerman, and then 10 from Brooklyn Dixon.
That's nice.
Just nice balanced scoring. Caitlin Ackerman, we talked about her at the beginning of the game as being a catalyst. She played outstanding defensively, had a number of rebounds. Didn't really factor into the scoring much. Had all of her 4 points late in the second half, but they didn't need that scoring from her. She did what the team needed her to do, and just the way that they played, I was very impressed. You know, they easily could have gone into a shell when they fell down.
They could have.
When they were down 11 in the first half. They didn't. You know, they could have let Park Center get a quick start in the second. They certainly didn't do that.
Nope.
You know, they completely controlled the early part of that second half. And once they had the momentum, they were not about to give it up.
No, and they turned Park Center over a number of times in that second half, and that I think that was what was really important. And then they converted those turnovers into points, and that's how they built that lead and handled it in the second half.
I will say though, watch out for that Park Center team the next couple of years.
They're young.
Yeah, number of
Yeah,
really
they're
good
young.
young players. They're going to be a dangerous team over the next couple of seasons. Cardinals, though, can't worry about that. They've got much bigger fish to fry. They host Champlain Park on Thursday. And then, Howie, you know where they're going on Friday?
Your alma mater.
They're going to my alma mater, Minneapolis Southwest, take on the Lakers. I wish I could be there, but we'll be at
be at the wrestling, yep.
and that's okay. Big event every time the Cardinals and the Tornadoes take the mat, and we'll be there, have all that action for you live here on Friday night starting at 7 o'clock. Next Tuesday, boys hockey as the Cardinals host the Andover Huskies. And then we may or may not have some wrestling playoffs for you on Friday the 16th. It's doubtful. More likely we're going to have a camera out there. We'll see what else we might be able to find for you, though. Always a lot of fun stuff happening here on CTN. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.